Good evening, bitches. Morbid Michelle here with some more morbid content, and today, in honor of Pride Month, I'm going to be counting down my 10 favorite LGBTQ plus songs. Before I get into that, though, let me make some things clear. I'm a cishet woman, and up until a few months ago, I was a conservative Christian. I've since converted to libertarianism, and while I'm still somewhat spiritual, I no longer believe in organized religion. The reason I bring this up is because though I'm a straight ally now, I wasn't always. So if I accidentally say something insensitive, I apologize. I'm new to this, okay? The rules of this list are pretty straightforward. All of these songs are about LGBTQ plus people and their experiences. Some of them are written by actual LGBTQ plus people. Others are written by straight allies. The songs will be listed in alphabetical order by artists. For the sake of variety, I'm limiting this to one song per artist. Also, while my music taste is pretty diverse, I tend to gravitate towards genres that are dark, aggressive, and abrasive, so don't expect a lot of pop on this list. Got it? Okay, let's get this shit started with... Transgender Dysphoria Blues by Against You. Spoiler alert, exactly 50% of this list is going to be punk. Against Me is a band I've liked since the 2000s. They're a punk band fronted by Laura Jane Grace, a transgender woman. I never agreed with their political views, but I have always liked the way their albums sound. I say most of their albums, that is, because I can't fucking stand white crosses. Because of this, when Against Me announced Transgender Dysphoria Blues, the album, I was really worried that they would become a full-on pop band. Thankfully they didn't, and I can still call myself a fan. The minute I heard the title track from this album, my conservative ass was rocking the hell out. I was so fucking relieved. You wouldn't believe it. The lyrics on this album are also fucking great, including on the title track. This song and album is about gender dysphoria, and for me as a cis person, it was pretty eye-opening. Basically, Laura Jane Grace feels trapped in her male body and wishes people would see her the way they would see any other girl. Fuck, if this is what trans people go through on a daily basis, then they deserve all the respect in the world. I can't even imagine what that must feel like. If you know someone who's trans and they may be struggling with gender dysphoria or not being accepted, show them this song. It may make them feel a little bit less alone. Next up is...
At age 13, my mother knew I wasn't straight. She didn't understand, but she had so much to say. She sat me on the couch, looked me straight in my face and said, "You'll burn in hell or probably die of AIDS." It's funny now, but at 13, it was pain to be almost sure of who you are and have it ripped away.
For those of you wondering, yes, this is a remake of Same Love by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Although I love the original, Angel Hayes' remake just hits so much harder. Mainly because she's telling her own story of being attracted to women and not being accepted, as opposed to Macklemore, who is talking about other people. It also helps that Angel Hayes is an amazing fucking lyricist. The song begins with her talking about how her mom abused her for not being straight. She then goes on to talk about how she stands with anyone who might also be going through the same thing. It's fucking powerful and never fails to bring tears to my eyes. Also, if you've never heard of Angel Hayes before, check out the rest of her work. Especially Cleaning Out My Closet, which, trigger warning, deals with incest and pedophilia. Now I know what you're thinking. That was a lot of heavy shit thrown at me all at once. Well, you're right, but don't worry, the next song will be happier. Up next is Rebel Girl by the Teen Girl.
Rebel girl, you are the queen of my world. Rebel girl.
Ah yes, the lesbian feminist punk anthem. Bikini Kill are the queens of the third wave feminist punk movement known as Riot Girl, and they fucking rock. Rebel Girl is easily their most popular song, and it's basically a love letter to the local badass feminist bitch. When I say love letter, I mean that literally, by the way. In this song, the narrator mentions kissing this girl and wanting to take her home. Need I say more? However, this is one of those songs that will make you feel like a badass whether you're LGBTQ plus or not. When I listen to this, I see myself as a wild, rebellious feminist bitch, and holy shit is it satisfying. I fucking love this song, and I also love Number 4, Deep Dick Collective, Butch Queen.
Tailor-made for the sailors and ladies that rave, and the games with the cables, no shade. They say, hey, I got a way that remains unstable.
I would like to thank Mark from Spectrum Pulse for introducing me to this group. I saw the episode of his old series Resonators that he did on them, and I'd never heard of them before, and their name made me laugh, so I figured I'd check out a few songs, and eventually I became a fan. Deep Dick Collective is an underground hip-hop group from the early 2000s. They have this kick-ass G-funk sound combined with lyrics about what it's like to be an LGBTQ plus black man. These guys are basically everything I want in a hip-hop group. Funky beats, tight flows, and a shitload of awesome lyrics. They showcase all of that and then some on this song, Butch Queen. Apparently the title refers to a gay man who's just as masculine as he is feminine. I guess that goes against the stereotype of gay men being girly, as the song itself points out. Seriously though, if you've never heard of Deep Dick Collective, check them out. They're extremely underrated, and that is a shame. Give these guys a listen.
See, I used to be
Number 5,
ashamed to write a song
Katie
to
Pruett,
her name.
Loving Her.
'Cause I was too afraid of what they all might say.
You know, as someone who grew up with classic country, I used to be one of those annoying-ass people who said shit like, country music sucks now. It's all about beer, girls, and trucks now. Then I discovered alternative country, and I can't get enough of it. Katie Pruett is a relative newcomer to the scene, having just released her first album 2 years ago. I was still a conservative at that point, but even then, I loved this album for its warm, organic instrumentation and Katie's beautiful voice. Recently, I listened to her album Expectations again in full for the first time in over a year, and I burst into tears. I wanted to give Katie a hug. The song Loving Her, in particular, brought tears to my eyes. This song talks about how much Katie loves her girlfriend, and how if loving her is a sin, she doesn't want to go to heaven. I know, I said at the beginning that I normally prefer darker music, but I don't give a shit. This song is beautiful. Now that we've had a short break from it, let's talk about more punk music. Number 6, Kangaroo Boys Unite by Leftover Crack. Leftover Crack are a bunch of anarcho-communists, which means I only agree with them on about 50 to 60% of issues. Calling out the hypocrisy of certain punks for railing against racism while being anti-gay is one of them. That's exactly what this song is about. It even has a catchy as fuck chorus for all the LGBTQ plus punks to sing along to. Musically, the song is the best example of my aggressive music taste on this list. It's abrasive, even if the ska elements are somewhat upbeat. However, if you're like me and you like edgier music, check this out. Number 7.
That's okay.
Pansy Division. That's so gay.
Say it again, there'll be hell to pay. I'll show you what it's like to be gay.
You know I had to include a queercore song somewhere on here, didn't you? Pansy Division is what pop punk should be. Bright and fun with enough aggression to still sound like punk. This song is a great example of it, with a catchy as fuck chorus and some truly badass lyrics. This song is speaking out against gay being used as an insult. In 2009. Keep in mind that this was in the early days of YouTube, where anyone who spoke out in favor of social justice was immediately crucified. The fact that a bunch of gay men were saying this must have really pissed off some homophobic assholes back then. Anyway, this song is fucking great. Check it out if you haven't. But if you want something a little more popular... Number 8. Make It Stop, September Children by Riot Girl.
It's come to this, a waitlist up on the way down singing.
This one breaks my heart. It tells the story of different teenagers who all killed themselves after being bullied for being gay. They all did it in September, hence the name. The song itself is a musical gut punch with lines like, "From a nation under God, I feel its love like a cattle prod." However, through all this pain, Rise Against urges the LGBTQ plus youth to not give up. It's always darkest just before the dawn. I have a hard time talking about this song without crying, so let's move on to... Number 9. And Sadness Will Sear by Pruett.
Sadness will sear. Cold is the wind that will freeze you.
Oh great, another tearjerker. This one tells the story of Matthew Shepard, a young man who was beaten to death in the 90s for being gay. Trivium's album The Crusade is easily their best album lyrically, and this song is among the best that album has to offer. My favorite thing about it is how Matt Heafy highlights that authority figures are the main reason behind homophobia. Schools, governments, and organized religion all play a big role in shaping the narrative around how gay people are seen by the world. And often those people want to keep people under their thumb by repressing individuality. Shout out to Trivium for bringing attention to this, but now it's time for the final song. Let's end it with a song by an actual LGBTQ plus person. Number 10, The Boy Is a Gun by Tyler, the Creator.
All these other niggas lame as fuck, we show them no respect.
I've been listening to Tyler, the Creator since Goblin came out, and it's been very interesting to me to see how he's grown, both as a person and as an artist. You see, when Goblin came out, Tyler was known for being kind of an edgy asshole. A bit like me, but worse. He threw homophobic language around like it was nothing, and he wrote songs about all sorts of gruesome topics. As a horrorcore fan, I loved it. Then Flower Boy came out, and Tyler came out as gay shortly after. To say I was shocked was an understatement. Once I recovered from my initial shock, I checked out Flower Boy again with fresh ears, and I loved it. Now that I've learned to stop hating gay people, I look at Tyler, the Creator, and I see a man compensating for his homosexuality by throwing around homophobic language. I've known a few too many people like that. Anyway, on this song, The Boy Is a Gun, Tyler talks about his relationship with this character named Igor. The song compares the sexual desire between these two to murder because it's so intense and painful that it's metaphorically killing them both. The title of this song is a phallic reference, which is actually kind of hilarious. That's all I really have to say about this song, but before I sign off, I just want to say, Congratulations, Tyler, for having the courage to be yourself after pissing nearly everyone in your community off. You have more balls than most, and that is awesome. And that's a wrap on another video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morbid Michelle. Later, bitches.